up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here from GuitarJams.com. Totally stoked to be back, bringing some classic inspired by licks. So I'm going to break down some of the techniques that I was doing in that little solo, but instead of teaching it to you like, here are all the licks and play it exactly like this, I'm going to like kind of deconstruct some of that stuff I was doing and show you some of those tricks so you can mix and match them and kind of make your own solo out of it. And I hope you dig that. Also, I've got even more licks that are inspired by Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, and Eric Clapton, and they're free. They're not on YouTube. They're kind of like upgraded lick modules. I've got a link right down there, and you can check those out as well, and I really appreciate that stuff. I really, really do. But anyway, let's zoom in, break it down, and have some fun, and melt some faces. Here we go! All right, so I'm playing in the E minor pentatonic scale. The root's on that double dotted fret right there. You got the pentatonic scale. Now, a thing Hendrix does in a lot of his solos, most of his solos, and a lot of other rock god guitar heroes as well, it's that B string bend up to the root. I think it's the hardest bend because you have to get your intonation, in other words, you have to get that bend perfectly in tune, and it's also the worst sounding bend when it's not in tune. It's not like the string itself's harder to bend than another string, it's more about what note you're bending up to, which is the root, the tonal center of what you're jamming over. So if I took the 15th fret of the B string, I want to bend it up to the E note that's a whole step higher. You'll hear it's the same note as this. So we want to bend this up to it. Now if I don't bend it far enough, doesn't sound good. If I bend it too far, so it's got to be just right. And I'm just wiggling. I'm not really wiggling my fingers per se. I'm kind of using the weight of the guitar. I almost consider my fingers being still. Like I'm not thinking of my fingers as wiggling. I'm thinking of kind of like using the guitar weight to make it wiggle like that. So I'm literally with my hand going like this with the guitar and then letting that leverage bounce back up and down off of that string. Oops, sorry, wrong fret. So I'm bending it up and then picking it and bending it back down. Oops. So one thing that's going to be really good, a technique to work on, is to bend up a whole step on the B, then natural, then the next note in the pentatonic. Hendrix did lots of that little thing right there, you know, bending up to the root, back down, that note. So the next thing I want to show you is on the G string and the D string, and it's another bend. The 14th fret on the G string. So I'm bending it, letting it come back down, pulling off my ring finger, and still keeping my index finger planted right there. And then I'm only picking again when I get to the 14th on the D, which is that root again. Watch. And Lenny Kravitz definitely took a lot from these techniques. You know, for Are You Gonna Go My Way? A lot of the same licks. So notice two variations that I did there on the B string. One was I picked and bent up to the root immediately. Another one would be to let your ear hear that note, then bend up. Okay. Now also, I could descend the scale using bends, like start up here, and then go right to the G string and start bent up. So you're hearing the pentatonic with bends. And that's one that I don't hear as many guitar players use. I even forget about it sometimes, but bending with your index finger on that 12th fret of the G, bending it up to that note. So then that means that you've got the 14G whole step bend, and then the 12th fret whole step bend. Now, with all the guitar clinics that I've done, like with Justin Sanderco or my own private guitar lessons, you know, when someone gets into soloing, they get really excited about bending. And they basically just kind of go through and bend every string without necessarily listening or even kind of realizing what they're doing. It's just fun to do, and I agree it's fun to do. But kind of study what you're doing, and it'll help you get more musical with those bends. Okay, here's another really tasty one. Sliding on the A string with your ring finger. You could, I mean, I could just pick a random spot anywhere and slide up to the 14th. But you could do, you know, you could do it from the 10th fret. You can do it from the 12th fret. I just like to just go from anywhere. And that's a really cool lick. You slide up to the 14th of the A, then the index finger on the 12, then the 14 on the 12, and then we're going to do a double stop, meaning we're going to pick two strings, 12th fret of the G and the 12th fret of the B. Now, all the B bending that I did on that B string, bending it up a whole step, vibrato, you can do the exact same thing on the high E string, that 15th fret of the high E. But make sure, that's another one that if you don't bend it enough or you overbend it, it's going to sound poopy, like poopsie poopy. Have fun with that. All right, that was it. I hope you got something from that. I hope you had a good time and added a little something to your arsenal. Hope to see you in another video lesson real soon. Even more free licks right in that link down there. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later.